Hi everybody, Marcus here, and if you have a fear of the dentist, then this is the video for you. I've hooked up with the amazing guys at Sale Dental, an amazing dental practice in Sale, Greater Manchester, who are really passionate at making sure that their customers have an amazing experience. And we all know dental hygiene is really important. But let's face it, going to the dentist for some people can be a real problem. We logically know that it's good to get our teeth checked. We logically know that if we need repairs or we need something fixing in our teeth, it's really important to get it done. But we get it. The fear of sitting in that chair is real. In this video, I'm going to explain to you why that happens and give you some tools that are going to help you make that trip much easier. I'm Marcus Matthews. I'm an advanced clinical hypnotherapist and the mind mentor, and I help people understand the mind at a deeper level. I specialize in trauma, anxiety, and those symptoms that make you feel blocked and stuck, feeling you can't move forward. So let's dive in. Why is it that when we go to the dentist, we might feel anxious? Well, your mind's job is really to keep you safe. And one of the primary rules of the mind in keeping you safe is it loves what is familiar. So if you only go to the dentist every 6 months, that's not familiar enough. And if you've had a bad experience in the past, your mind is going to remember that. Now, here's the thing. I said before that we all know that going to the dentist is logical. You know, looking after our teeth is really, really important. So why is it that logic can't override this emotional state? Well, the first thing is we need to understand what anxiety is. You see, anxiety, or the feelings of anxiety, are no different to excitement. It's the story that we attach to that feeling. But here's the thing. Only 5% of your mind is known to you. Only 5% of the story you've attached to that feeling is actually known. 95% of it is actually in your subconscious mind. One of the things that we focus on when we're going through challenges or problems is we focus on the story. But actually, it's not the story that drives the behavior. We don't think anxious, right? We feel it. What if you could get rid of that feeling so the logical part of your brain could kick in? In this video, I'm going to show you a really, really cool tool that's going to allow you to be able to shift that state very, very quickly. So let's begin. So what is the thermometer method? Now, when I work with my clients, normally we will do a deep dive. We'll go to the root cause of why they feel the way that they do. But the unique thing in how I help my clients and what I call mind mentoring is by having them understand the relationship between the story that they tell themselves in their head and the way in which that feels in their body. Because what happens is often when we go through a thought process that causes anxiety, we tend to label it as anxiety. We tend to own that. And it actually doesn't make things any better. We tend to use it as a crutch. We tend to use it as an excuse. And unfortunately, a lot of the therapies and a lot of the advice that we're given out there actually doesn't help. It leans into that anxiety, and you'll be told, go and have medication, go and take this, do the other. Equally, if you go on a more natural path, people might say, well, go and meditate, do breath work. They are both amazing and they do work. And I incorporate that into my work. The problem is, why? Why does it work? And what is it we're going to be doing right now? When we close our eyes And when we start to understand that relationship between the thoughts and the feelings and how they interact, we actually gain control. We actually gain the opportunity to release that fear. You see, it's okay to feel fear. It's okay to feel anxious. Why? Well, it's a natural state. Your mind and your body is always trying to help you. There's actually nothing wrong with you. It's just that that aspect of your mind that's trying to protect you is just going a little bit too far. So instead of the mind being in control, we're going to make sure you're in control. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So let's do a very simple test. Now, make sure you're nice and safe. Make sure you're not driving. Make sure that you've got a few minutes of peace where you can just go through this very simple exercise. All I want you to do is to close your eyes. And as you close down your eyes, all I simply want you to do is to focus on your breath. I don't want you to do anything with it. I just want you to notice the air going in and out of your lungs. I want you to notice, is your breathing deep? Is it shallow? Maybe play around with it. Take a few deep breaths in. Just see how you're experiencing your breath. Then I want you to notice how you're sat or lay. Are you comfortable? What does that feel like? Now I want you to go to your mouth. Is your mouth dry? Is it wet? What can you taste? And now I want you to listen. Listen to my voice. How is my voice making you feel? What words are coming up in your mind? What story is coming up in your mind? Now, I don't want you to judge this experience. Don't feel any shame, any guilt, or even try to validate it. I just want you to be the observer of this experience right now. So be the observer of your breath. Be the observer of your thoughts. Be the observer of how you feel. Be the observer of the taste in your mouth, and take a deep breath in through your nose. What can you smell? I want you to notice that you're the observer of these experiences. You're not the actual experience. And this is the first step in understanding and taking back control. So when you're ready, just open your eyes and I'll explain why we did that little exercise. Okay, welcome back. When we close our eyes and when we start to just become the observer of the experience, what happens is we shift our state from what's called our sympathetic nervous system state, which is our fight, flight, and freeze response, to our parasympathetic state, right? You wouldn't close your eyes if a lion was running towards you, right? So by closing the eyes, focusing on the breath, focusing on the taste in our mouth, we just become the observer of our experience in this presence right now. In the next part, we're going to use the thermometer effect, which uses these same principles to shift the relationship between the story that you're telling yourself about going to the dentist and the way that makes you feel. So let's dive in and let me show you the thermometer effect. Okay, so the thermometer effect is something that I actually discovered while I was trying to shift a feeling in myself. A lot of people, when we go into these meditative states, believe that it's about calming the mind, it's all about clearing the mind, and it's not. So I want to show you this method, and it works every single time. Okay, so again, just close your eyes. Now this time, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that you are going to Sale Dental. You're walking through the door and you're feeling all those feelings of trepidation, anxiety, and fear. I want you to actually play that story in your mind. Now remember, you're completely safe. you're just imagining this in your mind. But I want you to actually feel those feelings, lean into those feelings. And as those feelings just start to rise, any anxiety, any overwhelm, any thoughts that you can't do it, I just want you to either say this out loud or in your mind. I'm completely safe. My mind and my body are just trying to help me, and that's okay. Now, as you repeat that phrase over and over, I want you to just notice how you feel. How does your body start to shift and change as you just become the observer of the experience and repeat those words? I'm completely safe. My mind and my body are just trying to help me, and that's okay. Now, what I want you to do is, as you notice your nervous system start to change, this means that you're absolutely 100% in control of the thoughts and the feelings. So this is what I want you to do. Is I want you to play that video over and over again in your mind. These thoughts of going to the dentist. What is the story you're telling yourself? Play that over and over and over and over and over again. And go back to that feeling. And this time, I want you to connect with that feeling. I want you to notice that feeling. Where do you feel that feeling? Is it in your head? Is it in your throat, your chest, maybe your stomach? Maybe it's in your fists. Maybe you feel angry. It doesn't matter. Wherever you're feeling that feeling, I want you to just focus on the feeling, not the story, just the feeling. Now, as you focus on that feeling, I want you to notice, is there a shape to it? What is the shape? Is it 2-dimensional? Is it 3-dimensional? Just see if you can kind of work out what shape is that feeling. Just kind of observe it. And if you can, notice, what color is it? And then notice, as you notice the shape, you notice this color, how does that make you feel now you can see it? Do you want to lean towards it? Do you want to lean away from it? And as you observe that shape, as you observe that color, maybe it's not solid, maybe it's kind of like a gas swirling around, maybe it's black and white. Whatever you're experiencing is perfectly fine. But I want you just to observe it and notice that it's perfectly fine. And now focusing back on the feeling, I want you to imagine a thermometer. Now, in regards to this feeling that you're feeling, where 0 is actually perfectly fine, no issues, great. That's like the mercury in the bottom of the thermometer. And 10, like I'm freaking out. I want you just now to forget about the feeling and just imagine this thermometer wherever you're at. And all I simply want you to do is, let's say you're at an 8. I just want you to take a deep breath in. As you take a deep breath in, I want you to imagine in your amazing, brilliant mind, as you exhale, that mercury in that thermometer dropping down to the next number. Now, I'm going to play some music, and I want you just to, wherever you are, just take that deep breath in and exhale. And I want you just to imagine that thermometer, that mercury in that thermometer is dropping down with every exhale until you get it to 0. So I'm going to play the music and let's see how you get on. So all I want you to do is just focus on your breath, taking that deep breath in, and just with every exhale, just drop down from one number to the next until you reach 0. And at the point you get to 0, just allow yourself just to be the observer of that journey. Just be the observer how you feel in every moment with every exhale. Just become the observer of the moment that you're in right now. Okay, wherever you are right now, I just want you to notice that feeling. And I want you to replay that story. And I want you to notice as you replay that story of going to the dentist, notice how far it rises back up, if at all. Notice whether that story has any power. And if needed, just repeat the exercise and just notice that difference, that change. You're completely safe. Your mind and your body is just trying to help you. And when you notice that interaction between your mind and your body, and you realize by becoming the observer and using the breath, you can quickly and easily take back control. So when you're ready, just open your eyes. Welcome back. How was that experience? Did you notice how, as your mind starts to create that story, as you start to interact with that story, as you start to feel the feeling, instead of trying to get rid of the feeling, you lean into it, you allow that feeling. Did you notice how it shifts and how it changes? What did you experience during that exercise? And afterwards, did you notice, did the story that you've told yourself feel as powerful? Let us know. This is just one technique of many techniques that can help you shift that state of becoming the observer of the experience rather than being the experience. And if you'd like to find out how these techniques can help you further, then speak to the team at Cell Dental or go to makeyourlifecount.co.uk and click your free consultation. And if you mention Cell Dental, you'll get a 10% discount if you come and work with me to find the real root cause of why you feel the way you do. So next time you're in Cell Dental, if you've used this technique, if you've watched this video, let the team know how you've got on, because we're here together to help you smile, not just with your mouth, but also with your heart. My name's Marcus Matthews, and I'd love to know how you've got on. You can follow me on social media at Marcus A. Matthews on Instagram, and get in touch. Let me know how you've got on.